The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Erin Holscher. I'm a Business Development Coordinator here with ASTA. I'll be the organizer for today's presentation hosted by our partner, Discover Puerto Rico, titled Culinary and Mixology. One lucky advisor attending live today will win a Puerto Rican culinary kit. You must be on the presentation from beginning to end to win. We will announce the winner live after the Q&A session. We'll be answering your questions at the end of the presentation. However, please feel free to submit your questions throughout the presentation. To ask a question, you will use your GoToWebinar pane. Near the bottom of this pane is an area that says questions. If you click on the arrow next to where it says questions, it will open up a window pane. This is what you will use to communicate with us. If you are having trouble hearing the presentation, please make sure your speakers are turned on. And if you called in, try hanging up again and dialing back in. You can send me any technical issues via the questions pane, and I will try my best to answer them. I will respond to you via that same pane. Please also note that all audience members are muted. We certainly want to hear from you, but we have so many questions on the call that the background noise would be prohibitive, and we want to ensure that everyone can listen to the entire presentation. Finally, please remember that this webinar is being recorded and available for on-demand viewing at asta.org in just a few short days. Please join me in welcoming today's presenter, Joanna Gonzalez. Joanna, take it away.
Gracias, Erin. Thank you, and good afternoon. My name is Joanna Gonzalez. I'm the Leisure Sales Manager for Discover Puerto Rico, the official destination marketing organization for the island, responsible for off-island promotion of leisure travel, meetings, conventions, events, and activities. Today, I will be talking to you about our food, drinks, and how they have developed over the course of the last 5 centuries. And we'll also be sharing some of the secrets of their originality, authenticity, and the details that make those dishes unforgettable. The ports of San Juan to the north and Ponce to the south have been the gateways to many cultures and influences. And along them, they have brought their ingredients, recipes, and eating and drinking customs, evolving into what we know today as a rich and delicious gastronomy. About 1,000 years ago, the Arawak tribes from South America and our native Taínos started traveling north and settling in the Caribbean islands, including Hispaniola, Cuba, and Puerto Rico. The Taínos were gatherers, farmers, hunters, and fishermen, and to some extent lived off the land, growing a few crops. And with Christopher Columbus' arrival, the Spaniards brought their own food and spices and crops that influenced the existing Taino cooking. They brought oil, making our food more sophisticated and less rustic, also introduced sugarcane, bananas, coconuts, and various animals, and also brought sweets, cookies, and other preserves that they had prepared for their long voyage. In the late 1500s, early 1600s, the Africans brought with them additional food elements, including bananas, plantains, breadfruit, and other vegetables. They were already familiar with some of our endemic root vegetables. From the Taino barbacoa, many of these ingredients started to be cooked in oil, opening the door to frying, which is one of our more favorite cooking methods nowadays. The Taino barbacoa was replaced by the colonial stove. And through barbecuing, and although barbecuing stayed as a concept, the Europeans already roasted extensively and had developed ovens where they made breads and other foods. Some of our staple items come from different parts of the world. The plantains were introduced by the Spaniards and the Africans. The plantain differs from the banana because it's larger and needs to be processed and cooked to be edible. The breadfruit arrived to Puerto Rico via Jamaica. And also something similarly happened with the coconuts. The ancient technique of flavoring olive oil eventually became the Sofrito that we are familiar with today. This wonderfully flavor-based, made of a mixture of bell peppers, onions, recao, which is culantro, and garlic, is used to flavor a myriad of classic Latin American dishes. Tomatoes and peppers are indigenous to the Americas and were not included in the sofrito until Columbus arrived in the New World. Next time you make a recipe and forget the sofrito, it won't taste the same. The Puerto Rican version includes olive oil, onions, garlic cloves, sweet peppers, cilantro. You have to blend them well in a mixer. You can add a pinch of salt and pepper to taste. And you can also add some of the seasonings that can be brought in some of the ethnic food aisles or specialty markets for a perfect taste. Once ready, it could be refrigerated or frozen. Here are some Puerto Rican brands produced locally that can be purchased on the Brands of Puerto Rico website. Also, familiar Latin seasonings, you may have seen them in your neighborhood Latin bodegas or colmados, or at the aisles where the ethnic food products are in your favorite supermarkets. An essential dish in Puerto Rican cuisine are fritters. For example, we have the sorullos made with corn flour, the empanadas, empanadillas, or turnovers that could be stuffed with meats, seafood, cheese, guava, or whatever you want to add to them. The alcapurrias, it's another very popular Puerto Rican dish. It's made with a mixture of banana and taro root dough, and it's stuffed with tasty ingredients. You can also do an air-fried, healthier version for less calories. Your trip to the island won't be complete if you don't sample some of the staple dishes such as mofongo, made of deep fried green plantains, the tostones, it's double deep fried plantain wheels, the arroz y habichuelas, which is rice and beans, traditionally pink or red beans, cooked separately and served together, and the lechon, a slowly spit roasted pork dish with juicy meat and crispy skin. And there's also a variety of asopaos, which are a hearty rice stew with chicken, seafood, or meat. The rice with gandules, which are pigeon peas, is a traditional dish served during the holiday season, along with pasteles, another holiday specialty similar to tamales, made with either plantain, yuca, or a mix of them. You can stuff it with pork or chicken, and also the vegan options are now very popular. Even though you will always find the distinctive spice that characterizes Afro-Caribbean cuisine, chefs and cooks throughout the island have inclined to infuse other cultures into their menus. So if your palate is feeling a little adventurous, many kitchens around Puerto Rico offer various plates inspired by Asian, Latin American, and European cuisines that still highlights the Criollo Creole elements. The island is currently experiencing an agricultural revival, powered in great part by the culinary industry. Farms and coffee plantations are now becoming bed and breakfast and touristic experiences, while restaurants and bars are featuring locally sourced ingredients, and chefs are encouraging locals and travelers to savor the island's amazing native offerings. As previously mentioned, Puerto Rico is known for its delicious culinary offerings, and with good reason. An emerging group of award-winning local chefs and restaurants are elevating the island's products and flavors with specialized techniques, making Puerto Rico's culinary scene worth a visit. Here's a list of chefs and their restaurants. They've been internationally trained, and some have also worked in Michelin 1, 2, and 3-star rated restaurants. If you don't have time to sample the wide variety of local dishes, consider trying a food tour to sample the island's flavors. Food tours are a great way to get to know a new place while also indulging in local gastronomy. You can get a crash course on the history and traditions of Puerto Rico through food and drink significant to the island. As a bonus, local tour guides are a great source of recommendations for places to visit and doing on your own while you stay on the island. Whether it's your first time in Puerto Rico or your 5th time, you'll learn and taste something new. In Puerto Rico, chinchorrear is when you get a group of friends and family together and go on a road trip into the mountains or along the coast, stopping at different restaurants and bars to grab a bite and a drink. Maybe dance a little bit of salsa and move on to the next one. The chinchorreo buses offer an authentic Puerto Rican experience without the hassle of having to plan the stops, drive the car through twisting mountain roads, and then get home in one piece after a full day of drinking and eating. They offer different routes around the island with pit stops to enjoy public art and murals, as well as sample local cuisine and drinks off the beaten path. A fun, tasty, and highly recommended adventure to do is one of our culinary routes. Guabate, the Pork Highway, is a stretch of road in the mountains of Calley, lined by dozens of lechoneras, which are open-air restaurants specializing in slow roasted pork. Another one, La Ruta de la Longaniza. And longaniza, it's a type of intensely flavorful, slightly spicy sausage made from pork or chicken, sometimes a mix, which is a specialty of the town of Orocovis. The Luquillo kiosks are a strip of road where about 60 beachfront restaurants, ranging from open dive bars to sit-down places, serve traditional Puerto Rican food and other specialties. And also we have Piñones, which is in the coastal part of the town of Loíza, composed of dozens of kiosks selling fritters, skewered meat, fresh fruit shakes, and also cold coconut water. We have La Placita de Santurce, which is a must-stop for anyone visiting Puerto Rico. It is a traditional farmer's market by day and a hot outdoor club by night. Can you imagine a food court that wasn't planned and it's not made of known brands or fast food? Well, you'll find that at La Placita. It's a culinary cultural evolution where an array of restaurants started popping around the central market. In the evenings, you will find recognized restaurants, local kiosks, amazing drinks, and lots of salsa dancing. We also have a new entertainment area, Trito TMobile. It's the newest venue for fun and entertainment, which brings together Puerto Rico's spirit, flavors, and good vibes with innovative experiences to surprise visitors. It is a premium entertainment destination combining dining, music, technology, and attraction-based entertainment. It's conveniently located between Condado and Miramar and on the way to Old San Juan. There are 8 great restaurants, a VIP movie theater. We have Toro Verde Ziplines and also a game room for all the visitors. And the food truck scene in Puerto Rico changed everything. With more than 100 trucks popping in almost every major city over the last 5 years, this foodie phenomenon, which includes global cuisine and local classics, has become another way to savor our culinary options. There are several food festivals throughout the year, should your visit coincide with any of them. This is another way to experience our cuisine by visiting one of our gastronomic festivals. Due to the pandemic, last year most of them were postponed, but they have been resuming slowly but surely. You can visit our webpage, discoverpuertorico.com/things-to-do/events, and check out the event schedule by month, region, town, or category. As you can see, we have a diversity of restaurant options for visitors. And actually, let me go back. And there's amazing food festivals throughout the island, and they're going to be happening throughout the year. Now some history on our amazing Puerto Rican coffee. Coffee came to Puerto Rico in the 1700s via Martinique. By 1850, Puerto Rico's coffee was sold everywhere. The coffee produced in the cold mountain regions was internationally beloved, so much that Puerto Rico, barely the size of Connecticut, was among the world's largest and proudest coffee exporters. The cafes in Vienna, Paris, and Madrid served Puerto Rican coffee in the 19th century, as did European monarchs and even the Vatican. As it is safe to travel around Puerto Rico, we encourage you to explore our coffee plantations or haciendas, where you can see and learn about our coffee traditions and taste and sample them as well. Many coffee haciendas have opened up to the public in the past few years, offering tours of the farm, taking visitors through the production process from seed to cup. And many also have very good restaurants and shops within. Some will even include bed and breakfast for overnight stays. Sugar is the ingredient that makes everything sweet. Perhaps the Taino people use honey to delight their palates and treat their children. Or just like salt, sugar is also preservative, and back in those days, particularly before the long and uncertain voyage to the New World, the sailors decided to bring some of those bites that would not only be delicious, but also remind them of who made them back home. And those recipes came along with them. Back in the 16th century, there was a harvest that yielded excess wheat, and the island had more flour than usual. Back in those days, all foods had little processing, yet enough to transform the additional flour into something edible that could be carried up for a couple of months. So they produced a recipe that included sugar, lard, flour, and the resulting was small breads, which they called Mantecaditos, and that's the name after manteca, which is lard in Spanish. Now, as well as then, these treats are a staple in each household. Since then, Mantecaditos, you can add guava or other fruit jellies, as well as coconut for the variation called besitos de coco, which are coconut kisses. These are all culinary traditions of Puerto Rico. And you would ask, Joanna, why the long story about the sweets and the sugar? Well, the answer is because if there's sugar, there's sugarcane, and with that, we make rum. Did you know that Puerto Rico is the rum capital of the world? From gold to white, spice or dark, your preferred drink will be at its best when it's mixed with one of the many on-island distilled spirits. What makes our rum different is the processing and the aging where weather plays a key role. We use high-quality molasses, which are fermented under Puerto Rican rum standards. The distillation must be continuous to obtain the purest and lightest rums. Then the aging is done in white oak barrels for at least 1 year by law. 70% of the rum consumed in the United States comes from Puerto Rico. And for that reason, we call ourselves the rum capital of the world. While many establishments have their interpretation of the traditional cocktails like the Pina Colada, make sure to ask to have your drink crafted with an award-winning Puerto Rican brand. We have Bacardi, Don Q rum, or Ron del Barrilito. And you'll see what the buzz is all about. A great way to taste and learn about over the 70 brands under the Rums of Puerto Rico Quality Seal is to take a tour around Casa Bacardi or Hacienda Santa Ana, the producers of Rum Barrilito. They also have rum tasting excursions and mixology classes. One popular rum drink is the coquito, or the Puerto Rican eggnog, but with rum. This holiday drink has coconut base. Nowadays, it can be mixed with other flavors like chocolate, pistachio, amaretto. Another rum that is very seasonal is the pitorro, and depending where you get it, the strength may vary. Pitorro, it's like moonshine. Also, this pitorro, this moonshine, can be found in the different flavors. You can also try a fortified sangria. Though it's mostly a wine drink, the Puerto Rican version has rum, and it adds more taste and happiness. And now, behold our official cocktail. Everyone enjoys a cold, refreshing Pina Colada. And for the authorship of the Pina Colada, we have 3 runners-up. Roberto Cofresi, who isn't claiming it, but was a local pirate who rewarded his sailors with a pineapple juice and coconut water drink, which had rum in it. And then we have 2 gentlemen, both named Ramon, who claim being the creators of the drink. Ramon Marrero at the Caribe Hilton, and Ramon Portas at Barra China, a restaurant in Old San Juan. As Monchito, Pina Colada preceded Ramon Portas about 10 years. In 1978, after a large investigation, the government issued a proclamation naming Monchito the author and creator of Puerto Rico's official drink. And it was at the Caribe Hilton in San Juan. And here's the recipe. Perhaps tonight, instead of a glass of wine, you will be inspired to enjoy an amazing Pina Colada. And if you love craft beers, your next vacation should include a microbrewery and brew pub tour in Puerto Rico. This industry is booming, and while Jürgen Maria stalled production for a while, these breweries are now back, stronger and better than ever. If you are in Old San Juan, a must-stop is Taberna del Lúpulo, Puerto Rico's premier craft beer bar with 50 taps and 150 bottles of the finest Belgian, English, German, and American craft beers, and also great pub food. Another option is Cervecería del Callejón, also in Old San Juan. I now invite you to visit Discover Puerto Rico's website. Enjoy a best-in-class portal to help you explore all that the destination offers in a fun, engaging, and easy-to-navigate online experience. It is loaded with images and videos, sample itineraries, and it's presented in a highly engaging editorial style. And we have it both in English and in Spanish. I also invite you to visit discoverpuertorico.com/travel professionals to review our travel professionals page. You will find valuable information, travel agent commission offers, and also how to become a Puerto Rico travel expert. There you will find a link to register to the Travel Academy. And there are 2 courses. There's the general course, and afterwards you can continue with the master course to become a certified Puerto Rico travel expert. The graduate benefits include a certification as a Puerto Rico travel expert. It gives you also up to 4 continuing education units on completing both classes. And members of the Association of Canadian Travel Agencies are eligible for 3 credits. You will also be eligible to join the Discover Puerto Rico Rewards Program. This new program gives you access to our points-based travel agent loyalty program, as your bookings equal points that can be redeemed as cash, perks, and membership opportunities. As you've seen, the island is rich in history, culture, exceptional food. We have pristine beaches, majestic mountains, relaxation, adventure, all packed into one sun-kissed Caribbean paradise. Besides, Puerto Rico is full of people who are welcoming and very proud to show off our great destination. Thank you so much for being with me this afternoon. Here's my contact information should you need to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to assist with your inquiries, and also if you want to travel to Puerto Rico, if you're sending your clients, please let me know. I'll be very happy to assist. And now back to Erin to double check if we have any questions.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Johanna. We've got such excitement in the chat with people learning about all of this great history and the information. So thank you very much for this. So a few questions here that have popped up of what's the best way to get around Puerto Rico?
It all depends on the length of time and how adventurous your clients are. If they're staying for a few nights and only in the metropolitan area, it's not recommended to rent a car because it's easier just to go through taxi. We have Ubers, which makes it really convenient to travel around the metropolitan area. If people would love to go outside of San Juan and explore the island, it's highly recommended to rent a car. That way they can do it on their own, do it at their own pace. We have great highway system that goes from north to south to east and west. And there's the navigational apps like Google Maps and Waze. They work on the island, which it's really convenient because people can actually get to where they're going in an easy and safe way.
Excellent, thank you. Now, we had an advisor that asked about the distilleries, and I know that you highlighted a few of the different distilleries. Is there such a thing as a distillery tour, or kind of hopping between the distilleries, or is it best to visit those individually?
It would be, there's not a tour that takes you to all of them. We do have 3 major ones, the Casa Bacardi in Cataño, it's in the metropolitan area. Hacienda Santa Ana, that's with Ron del Barrilito. It's in Bayamon. It's really close to Bacardi. And the third one is in the south, in the town of Ponce, and it's with the Serrayes, at the Serrayes Museum, and they recently added the tour that includes a mixology class. And they give you the whole history on these 3 distilleries. They give you the whole history on their distilleries, and also you can add a rum tasting. You can add a mixology class. It's really fun, engaging, and a very flavorful way to learn. That it's highly recommended to do the 3 of them.
Excellent. Well, that kind of leads me right into my next question here is, with the mixology classes that you mentioned, are those hosted and taught by each distillery, or is that a tour that advisors can book for their clients in advance? Or could you tell me a little bit more about the process with that?
It could be reserved in advance, individually by distillery. Each one has their own webpage that you can actually, you can go to discoverpuertorico.com, and on their things to do, you can find information on the distilleries, but they would have to be booked individually. Maybe through a tour operator, you might be able to find it, but also you can do them individually, with each one. Excellent,
thank you. And lastly here, now, does the food experience differ in different parts of the island? Is there kind of a northern style versus a southern style, or the kind of regions wise?
No, actually, no. We have our staple would be between fritters and pork. We love to do pork any which way possible. It could be roasted, it could be fried, it could be, I don't know, believe amazing ways to make pork. And depending, actually, you know what, depending on the region, if you go to the Central Mountains, you can find it's like the longaniza, which is this stuffed, it's like a type of chorizo. And but basically, between rice, beans, mofongo, which is another one of our staple dishes. Mofongo, it's the fried, it's the plantain smashed, and you can stuff them with seafood, with meat, with chicken. Those throughout the island, you'll find those same dishes, maybe prepared in a different way, but it's actually what that's the typical local cuisine.
Excellent, thank you. So let's see here. So it looks like that wraps up all of our questions. So thank you so much to our advisors for providing those here. Now it's time for the very anticipated drawing for our winner. As a reminder, one lucky advisor attending live today will win a Puerto Rican culinary kit. So drum roll, please. And the winner is Tammy Farlow. So congratulations, Tammy. I'll be sharing your contact information with our presenter, and she'll be following up with you for your prize. As I mentioned, this webinar was recorded. So if you'd like to listen to the presentation again or access those slides and those resources, please be sure to check that out at asta.org. Thank you so much to our partners at Discover Puerto Rico for all of your support of ASTA, and all of you that have joined the webinar today. This concludes today's presentation. We hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Anything to add, Johanna?
No, that would be all. Thank you so much. Gracias. Please remember Puerto Rico. Let me know if I can be of assistance, and have an amazing afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.